Hi, my name is Kamaksha Masunuru. This is the second video of the series of video cast I'm creating on a particular web application called ADSBA, which I created a couple of days ago. This is a server level application which is useful for both individuals and research firms to do survey data analysis. There are great advantages compared to rest of the same type of applications available in the industry right now. Okay, this is the second video cast which continues to the first video cast in which I described the entire application. In this video cast I'm going to show you how to deal with datasets and also perform descriptive data analysis. As I mentioned in my previous video, the tab panel datasets is used for importing datasets. So there is a tiny little browse button in this page. On the left side you have the sidebar panel, and the right side we have the main panel. And let me press this button now, browse. It will open your operating system. The application opens a window in which you have to supply as part of the dataset file. Better use the comma separated value file. In short, we call it a .csv file, because our programming language is open source software, and I'm implementing this application in Ubuntu 18.04. both my operating system and as well as the backend, the programming language, both of them open source software. So I suggest you to use open source data sets like .csv, calc, numeric, PySpread, something like that. CSV is a commonly accepted file format across the applications, and for that matter, let me tell you one important thing. Our language can be used irrespective of the platforms. It can be, and even for that matter, you can also use this web application in Windows, Linux, and also Mac OS and various other distributions of the Linux flavor. Because R supports most of the operating systems available in the world. Now this is the dataset which I simulated for this demo purpose, and it has no it's not a real dataset. You will be having a real dataset with you. As I said, this application is used for the survey data analysis, which means perhaps if you had done any survey, you must be having some dataset. Perhaps you must have saved your data in Excel file, or has methods to import the Excel data. But I strongly suggest you to use the open source data file formats, just like CSV, like you see here. Okay, right now I have a few variables in my dataset, and these are the socioeconomic characteristics and these are the study characteristics. I have three latent variables here: one satisfaction, second one perception, third one attitude. And the first three variables demonstrates the socioeconomic characteristics of the survey respondents. I think I have 14 rows in my dataset, which means this data represents 14 survey respondents or individuals. Now let me take you this is the full dataset. In case if you want to see only particular data variables and you wanted to download them later, you can just choose this download button. Right now the method is not implemented. In my future developments I will be able to. The intention for providing these columns is that I want to implement few data transformation methods in the future, so that you can attach the variables transformed after you can attach few of the variables which that are transformed through some of the options or the methods available in the browser. Right now it is not implemented, but I have a plan to do that. Let me take you to the very first analysis, that is the descriptive data analysis. There are 4 statistical techniques right now available with related methods. Let me take you to the summary statistics. Right now you don't have anything on the right side, because you have not chosen anything right now. So click in the choose variable text input widget, then you will be given with all the variables that have been there in this data set. You are free to choose any of the variables. Suppose if I choose gender, then the data table for that particular variable is displayed for my analysis, and you can keep choosing the variables so that the summary statistics for those variables will be displayed at the right side, which we call it as the main panel. And to go further, you have the frequency tables. Right now only bivariate frequency tables are available. If you choose, you need to choose the variables left side in the select input widgets, so that the right side in main panel you will find the tables. I think it is not very much into. Suppose if I choose the gender and employment, so those factor levels together with the frequencies are displayed in the right side of the application. Right now, to speak by the item, there are 6 male individuals in this data who has public employment. I mean, their jobs are public, and there are each of 4 individuals belongs to the category female, appears to be both private and public employment. This is how we are going to implement. And going further, we have the cross tabulation. This is just simply, we can do a hell lot of analysis on cross tables. Right now only one single method is implemented. There is a link here. You can just click on the link to read more about the chi-square test. This particular technique implements the chi-square test on the bivariate data. Suppose if I choose both of the factors, then there will be chi-square test for those two. I think I will not be able to do the same. Let me choose the salary, or let me choose the satisfaction. Now what I am trying to do is that I just wanted to test if the satisfaction of the survey respondents depends on the gender or not, because the chi-square test is a dependent independent test. Now the test shows that the statistic is 4.3361 with a degrees of freedom 4, with a p-value 0.36, which is greater than 0.05. So at 5% significance level, it is not possible for us to reject the null hypothesis. So the null hypothesis, we don't have the sufficient evidence in support of the alternative hypothesis. So I can say or infer that satisfaction perhaps might not depend on gender as far as this data set is concerned, or this survey respondents are concerned. Now let me go to the plots. Right now only 4 methods are implemented: histogram, bar plot, scatterplot, and pie plot. There are other text input. These are not text. Text input. One input, select input widget with the text. 3 text input widgets are available right now in this menu. Suppose if I choose histogram is for the numerical metric, which means continuous and non-categorical data. Now let me choose this ordinal data variable, which is satisfaction 1. Now right side you will see the, suppose if I want to write a name for the x-axis, let me write satisfaction, then that name is updated here. And then I can also choose to write the name for y-axis, which is the density. Right now only density is implemented. The frequency is not, the other option frequency is not implemented, but in future I'll be able to provide the options here under this inputs. And now I can also give the title for the satisfaction for histogram for, I mean this is already histogram for satisfaction question number 1, something like that. You can just choose to write. Next one is the bar plot, and the names are updated automatically. We don't need to once you write the. Next one is the scatter plot. This is just a plot which is useful to find the pattern in the data. You see here there is a slight downward trend in the data and something like that. I cannot say it is a trend, but it is possible for us to obtain the pattern in the data through scatter. This is a smooth scatter method used in the R program. Next one is the pie. So this ordinal data is not a correct data variable for pie diagram. Instead, we can go for a categorical data variable like gender. Now, right now, you don't have the percentages displayed on the pie diagram, but in future development, I'll be able to show you. But one thing is very clear here, that the number of female respondents in this dataset are comparatively more than number of male individuals in this dataset. This is all about the descriptive data analysis. Very few techniques are available. That's all for now for this video cast, and I'll be able to talk I'm going to talk about the predictive data analysis in my next video. If you like my video, please press like, and stay tuned for the new content, and don't forget to subscribe to my video channel. I forgot to tell you one important thing. The code is available at my GitHub page, so you can free to visit this URL. I'm going to show you this. I'm going to update this URL in the video description. You can just this is an open source project. You can just download the code from here, install in your computer, start using it. Thank you. Thanks for watching this video.